Wine Divas. Wine Divas are part of Townsquare Media. So in the studio with us right now we have Stacey Lee. Stacey works for 98.3 The Key, very well known in the Tri-Cities. How you doing, lady?
I'm doing wonderful.
Oh.
20-year anniversary, Christine, next month that I've been a radio personality. I've been in the area 20 years, so basically all 20 years, not at the station, but actually in March, 16 years in this building.
Wow.
It's a long time.
16 years in this building, that is.
I know, this building's been standing for 16 years, that's amazing.
What's left of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 16 years in the building, and love radio, love my job. TV seems exciting, but yeah, radio's a little more my speed, I think.
Well,
TV, you have to dress nice.
Yeah.
True.
Maybe. Some people don't. Okay, and your cohort in the Wine Divas is Raleigh. Raleigh is one of the personalities for Hot 97.5. Raleigh, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely, it's going to be really fun. I'm glad we know where John stands on Benghazi, but where does he stand on wine? That's what's more important.
Yeah,
right?
What's going on with your wine?
To be honest, it's either Corona or Coors Light or Jack Daniels.
Well, he is not a diva. He is not a wine diva.
So not a diva. No,
If
not.
alcohol
He's a
is
simple man.
crutch, If alcohol is a crutch, Jack Daniels is the wheelchair.
Oh, yeah. All right, you know what we're talking about here. All right, so how did this duo come together in the first place? How did this happen?
Well, first of all, Raleigh, have you been here a year yet? Have you been in the building for a year?
In November 5th, it'll be a
So her
year.
anniversary is coming up on 1 year. So for the last few years in radio, and we don't just talk on the radio anymore. They make us blog now. So
They don't make you. They let you.
They
They
allow
make
us to
us.
blog.
They stand over us with a knife and
saying-
say, you have to do 2 blogs a day. So anyways, we have to blog, and then they started this thing, Vlog, which is a video blog. And, so as DJs, we're like, ah. And I thought, why not? Let's do something with our wine. We live in a beautiful wine country, in beautiful wine country.
Yeah, somewhere
Washington.
along the lines, we figured out that we both very much love wine,
Yeah.
and we're like, let's make a show where we can drink wine
Yeah,
and do a show.
Well, and there's so many, there's ample opportunity because there's how many wineries are in
I mean,
our.
we haven't even hit half of them.
No,
Like,
we haven't
it's-
even hit a
No,
quarter of
no,
them.
Not even
you
close.
haven't scratched the surface. Yeah.
Literally, we could be at a different winery every week for years, and,
Yes.
and do a
And-
blog and a vlog and just find all the cool people that we've talked to, and it's endless. And our area
Yeah, we
should be
really-
as well known as Napa, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
will
And we
be.
just wanted to showcase also, I mean, obviously drink wine and do work is fun, but
Yeah.
in all seriousness, we were like, we have such a beautiful, amazing area, and there's all these great wineries out here that we want to share that with everybody and share it in a fun way. And that's really, we just kind of went out and did it on our own. We
That's
set
how
up
it
our
got
own
started. Yeah, so I think our
tastings and-
first episode, we went to the Gordon Brothers Wine Bar in
Yeah.
Pasco, and we just kind of showed up and said, hey, we're the Wine Divas, we're doing a show here, is it cool?
And they're like, all right,
So
rock and roll.
we set up a camera, we didn't know what the heck we were doing, we did a wine tasting, pretty soon they were bringing us gourmet food, pretty soon we had a really cool video, and found out, you know what, this is pretty fun.
Yeah.
So you go to the wineries, or you want the wineries coming to you and asking you to do a show at their place? What's going on there?
Both, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
either way.
when we started out, we just kind of went and did. We would just go around and be like, all right, here's where we're going this week. And as the videos kind of gathered steam and people were seeing them, they were like, hey, can you guys come out? And then when we would call, they'd be like, oh yeah, the Wine Divas. So they would get to know who we were and set up some really cool things, some amazing experiences on there. Alexandria Nicole is one of the ones where we went up to their estate. They have this huge castle thing on the hill, and they have little tiny houses on the premises. So it's fun to go out and see all of these cool things that everyone, not just Wine Divas, but everyone can experience.
And
So when do you do these? In the afternoon? Weekdays? What?
Whenever we have like 5 spare minutes, usually in the afternoons. It's usually weekdays.
It
Sometimes
usually
we'll take our
turns into
weekends.
a little shoot turns into about a 5-hour afternoon of wine and having a good time. Usually what happens is we get to a location, and some of these wineries and tasting rooms are just in these amazing little enclaves of the area that you get out there and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so
It's
beautiful.
so beautiful.
Here. So we end up drinking wine, meeting really interesting people, and so it turns into a big shoot. And so yeah, we try to get one in once a week, but we got a little staggered over the summer. And then Raleigh here, of course, is doing a thing called the Scareground, so that's kind of taken a little bit of her time.
Yeah. So you'll get pumped back up into that. So what are your impressions of the local wineries? Because you were just talking, you mentioned Napa, and obviously they have created the whole tourism phenomenon to come to California and look at their wines. But these wines here have a lot more quality attached to them. So what are your impressions, do you think, of these local wineries?
Well, let me tell you, Christine, so I had a friend come from California. I'm from California originally. So a friend of mine came up, wine snob, and kept Napa this and Napa that. And I'm like, oh, be quiet. So I took him to a local winery and we did a wine tasting. And he was like in complete shock at A, how good the wine was and the price. He's like, this wine in Napa would be, you know, $200. And it was a $20 bottle of red wine from Terra Blanca. So, you know, it's surprising. A lot of people don't know about our area. So I feel it's important to, you know, push that. These people that are in the wine industry here work really hard at producing a quality product, and it's a craft. And so I think that it's important that people know about it.
Yeah, and they've gotten. So many wineries here do work on their craft. They're not working on being showy per se. And I feel like this area could really blow up as a Napa because it is, I mean, the quality of the wines that you're getting, the amazing experiences that you're getting, and everyone, all the winemakers that we've met are so passionate about it. It's what they do, it's their art. It's not just, oh, I'm just going to go make a wine as my spare job. No, they've been doing it for years. There's generation wineries that have been out there since the beginning. We were up on, we were in Red Mountain, where were we? Oh, Kiona. Kiona was the first winery even out. They weren't even a winery. There was like a bunch of grapes that they planted, and they've been out there 20 years for celebrating this year, and that's incredible.
They've been out since the 70s. So.
We're pretty fortunate to be in this incredibly unusual area for grape growing. And, you know, the grapes here are basically used throughout the entire state of Washington. So when they have wines that are produced in the Seattle area, the grapes actually came from the ground here. So besides the wineries themselves, though, I think what's kind of unique about folks here is that they're really tuning into a lot of other activities. Music, you mentioned food. Some places have, you know, done horseback riding. Some have done like hiking trails from one winery to the other.
We tried to hike.
We tried to hike.
It didn't go so
we didn't make it. Yeah, we did a video out of, where were we? We're at Anilare. And we made it to the trailhead.
They have an actual, if anyone's ever hiked Badger Mountain, and if you go to Anilare, this is Badger Mountain on steroids.
Yeah,
okay? It's like
so
straight
steep.
up a hill. We didn't even make it to the trailhead.
No. And it was so windy that it was awesome, though.
Was that before or after the wine tasting?
That was before, because
before.
we knew that if we tasted wine, we wouldn't make it up there.
We didn't even make it to the trailhead. Are you kidding me? Yeah, so if anyone wants a challenge, you guys should go to Anilare and try that trail. I challenge you.
It's legit. It's not, maybe take the wine with you. That might help. Some painkillers as you're going.
Some painkillers for sure.
Well, the motivation to have some wine at the top of it, though, that would be kind of cool.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, I like that idea.
It's straight up the hill. I'm not
So
kidding.
good.
It's like 800 vertical feet.
And it's like windy out there. It's great, though. It's great.
There's snakes, you know, things like that. But
all right, so you've experienced the extra things.
Yeah.
Tell me about your favorite wines. Do you enjoy red wine or white wine?
Well, I enjoy both. And Stacey, we joke.
I enjoy both as well, but
both.
I probably gear more towards a red wine. I
Yeah.
love my red wine, especially with chocolate or paired with the right food. But white wines are nice in the summertime.
Yeah, and we tease each other about it too. Like the part on the Wine Divas, it's really fun because we have fun with each other and we're kind of silly because the thing about wine, I think, is people think it's like, oh, it's too snotty, or that people are snobs about it, and we're kind of trying to bring it in a fun way. For me, my favorite thing is I'm definitely partial to reds, but with the whites, I'm really big on food pairings, really huge on it, and I feel like there's an appropriate wine. It's kind of an old school kind of look on it, but I feel like there's appropriate wines for everything. So if I'm having a light salmon dinner, I'm going to have a nice crisp Chardonnay with it. If I'm having a big steak, I'm going to have a nice beefy red. So, but yeah, we basically will try everything.
We pretty much like all wine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wine divas.
Okay.
We'll try it all.
That becomes really obvious. So have you learned a lot? Do you think that you actually, since you've been doing this, have learned about wines?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and you know, people are so gracious when we do go to their winery. Here's another thing about our area. What I've noticed is a lot of the wineries are family owned. So it's, it might be dad and, kids and people, and so they're very passionate about their winery and they're proud of their craft, so they're very happy to show you. And you certainly can tell a good, what do they call it, wine, what do they call it?
Sommelier?
Sommelier attendant. You can tell the difference when someone knows their, their business, and they do. They teach us stuff. We're hoping we're getting ready for a wine tour to Walla Walla that we're going to get some really. We're going to have a chance to meet winemakers and so on. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But
and out at Martinez, it's a really good. They're a Latino-owned, a family-owned business. They've been doing it for quite some time now. And when we went out for tasting, like she was saying with the family, they had everybody out there. They had grandparents out there and the kids out there. They show us their back storeroom about like how temperature and pressure and everything that goes into making that wine. It's not just people stomping on a bunch of grapes in a barrel. It's so much more that goes into it. And they talk about how long you leave the grapes on and like the vines growing, things like that. So we've definitely learned a lot.
Wow, you have. All right, we're going to take a break right here. If you've got a question for the Divas, give us a call. That number is 547-8726. So what do you think if you could go on a wine tasting trip with them? That would be fun. We'll talk about that next. Welcome back to Meet in the Middle. I'm Christine Brown. You know what? It's 63 degrees outside and it's a beautiful day. I think we might have to get out there later on this afternoon. Maybe we can get those wine divas out with us. Those are the guests that I have in the studio with me today. We've got Stacey Lee and Raleigh. They are the wine divas here at Townsquare Media. They go out and do all kinds of vlogs, as Stacey told us a little while ago, going to the different wineries and tasting the wine and talking about it as you go and kind of describing the wines. So you got coming up this really unique trip. What is that all about? What is it? First of all, I think it's called, we just named it today, Wine Divas Party Bus.
Party Bus.
That's right.
Well, you gotta be excited when you say it, right?
We're hitting the road on a Sunday morning. We're gonna leave the studios here around 10:30 in the morning. We're heading to Walla Walla, and Tri-Cities Limo did an awesome job of setting up this tour. So they contacted some Walla Walla wineries in advance. They got our tasting fees waived, but they also set up a VIP experience for everyone on our bus.
Yeah.
So if you love wine, and by the way, that weekend is also fall release of the Walla Walla wines. And Walla Walla is one of my favorite. That's absolutely one of my favorite places to get wine from and try. Anyway, we're going to visit Basil Cellars, okay? That includes a VIP cellar and estate tour. And you've never been there. You are going.
So this is.
You are going to die.
I know. If you haven't been to Walla Walla, I'm going to be a newbie with you because I've not been out there.
Basil Cellars used to be someone's private home, okay? And these people had a lot of money, okay? They wasted no money. So the story is something happened. They sold it. It became Basil Cellars Winery, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It is to die for.
I'm excited.
Then we're going to one I've never been to, Terratulia Cellars. And we get a private VIP tour there. Never been there, so I know nothing about their wine, so that'll be exciting. Elegante Cellars as well. I was looking up some information on Elegante, and apparently they have a retired high school chemistry teacher is their winemaker.
So it's Walter White. He's the Walter White of wine.
So that's Elegante.
Yeah, sounds like it.
We get a question and answer session with the winemaker. So.
I'm bringing that up. It's going to be.
And then Beauty Winery, and I have been there. They're in the airport area of Walla Walla. We get a private meeting with the owner and winemaker. So those are the 4 wineries. Those tasting fees have been waived, and we get those extras for that Sunday on our tour. And so here's what it is. It's very, very, very exclusive.
And not only is it exclusive and you'll be educated, but it's a party bus. So there's like lights in there. We'll have snacks and wine on it. There's a karaoke machine, which if you've seen the most recent Wine Divas video, you saw a little preview of the bad singing that will be happening. So the whole thing is going to be fun too. I mean, we definitely want to get the VIP stuff and the behind the scenes stuff, but we're having a blast.
So it's $70 per seat. And you just contact Tri-Cities Limo 737-8675, and that is how you grab your seat. I would not wait. I'd grab it now if you want to go.
And that's November 8th, so you're leaving at 10 in the morning. You're getting back about 4:30. Is that a Seahawks game day? Do you have any idea? Have you looked at that?
I think it is, but you know what?
You don't care that day?
Don't really care, no. We're wine divas, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm actually not a Seahawks fan, so that's why I don't care. But my team will be playing. But
that's what the DVR is for, Christine. The DVR.
Right, the DVR.
Watch it later.
Yeah, well, you can check up with your phone too.
Yeah.
All right, so I went online and looked at your video that you talked about this trip, and you were inside this bus. Now, in my mind, I was thinking almost school bus type, where the rows are and everything. this bus is not like that at all.
No.
It's like a giant limousine, is what it's like.
Yeah,
more
pretty much like a
right?
big limo.
Yeah, and so yeah, comfortable seating. We're not sitting on bus,
There are
bench
tables?
seats.
Yeah, there's like little tables. There's little
Yeah.
cup holders for our glasses because we will need that for sure. The karaoke machines on there. There's a whole light show thing, TV screen. Like, it's amazing.
So yeah,
Yeah. All right. You've only got 12 seats available. It's,
Right.
what'd you say, $70
It's
a piece?
$70, and again, that includes all the way, that plus we get snacks and stuff on the bus. $70 for your round trip on the bus. That's well worth it. And
Oh, yeah.
you'll want.
What
you'll want
about lunch? Where's lunch in all this? Do you eat
they're
somewhere?
packing snacks on the bus for us, so that'll
Okay,
be
okay,
our,
yeah.
And I'm sure if we have time, we could probably get the bus driver to pull over. Like,
Yeah, we can get road food, whatever, some Doritos.
doesn't go with
No,
one.
we'll definitely have food on the bus, and as we're going to some of these pairings as well, there'll be snacks and things. So if you've gone wine tasting before, they usually have things. And hey, it's our day, so we can decide if we want to stop and get some lunch. We'll stop and get some lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, it sounds really cool. And that is November 8th. And they go and where do they sign up? They sign up at the limousine company?
Yeah, you just call Tri-Cities Limo and say, hey, we want to be on that Wine Depot
Okay.
bus. 737-8675. And yeah, that's local. So.
All right, that sounds really good. I want to talk about a couple of other things because I think it's fun to have a couple of women in the studio who've been involved in radio all this time. But also, Raleigh, I know that Scaregrounds is a big project here at Townsquare Media, and in fact, it's become so popular that they're opening up tonight. They weren't going to, but they are. You are one of the architects, and there are several here at the company that have put together this event. How would you rate it?
I would rate it as awesome. And it's more awesome than we thought it was going to be. I mean, we all put our, blood, sweat, and tears into a thing, and you're always hoping, and you're like, okay, we've done it, and, once it opens, you just kind of have to let it go, and we've had more success than we thought we would. We've tweaked things every single week to make sure everything's fresh, to make sure it's scary. Any problem areas, we beef it up and make it amazing, and these kids that are doing the haunts are absolutely fantastic, and they're working their little booties off, and it's been an amazing thing to be a part of, and it's great. There's 3 different haunts in one, and so you can get kind of a different experience, and each of them has a different scariness to it. Like the Freak Show 3D is like clowns and crazy things, like this crazy carnival thing jumping out at you. You got the 3D glasses you have on it. Insidious is more of like a stare behind the screen. It's like a creepier scare, so it's more of a suspenseful scare going through there, and they get you so good. I even know where they're standing, and I go through to check on things, and they still get me. I mean, that's how good they
that
are.
air blower thing? It was daylight, and I jumped out of my skin.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And Project 13's more of like kind of a slasher movie, like it's a little bit darker with their scares as well. So it's 3 haunts in one, and it's fantastic. And even while you're waiting in line, there's always something going on. So we had been so much success with it on Thursday. We're like, we don't want people, or last Saturday, I mean, we want people to be able to get through the lines a little bit faster. We're like, all right, let's do it. Let's open up on this Thursday. So we're open tonight at 7.
So it is really scary. But also, coming up on Saturday, there's an event for the kids. Children that is not scary, right?
Yes.
And wimpy adults is what I've been
Yeah.
saying.
Oh!
Really
okay.
wimpy adults and little kids, you guys, Saturday is your day.
Yeah, so it's 1 to 4 out at the Scaregrounds, and yeah, we've covered up anything that's a little too scary for them, and the kids get to walk through. It's daylight, all the lights are on, the actors are more kid friendly with the haunts. So if you have anywhere from probably age 10 down, or anyone who's really easily scared, but so you can bring your little guys through, and it's going to be really fun, and they get little candy and get to have a little pre-Halloween treat. So that's 1 to 4 this Saturday at the fairgrounds, the Scaregrounds.
Oh, that sounds great. Stacey, so 20-year anniversary. Wow.
Radio, yeah.
Radio.
Yeah, exactly.
And here you are today, you're on the other side, you're responding to questions.
It's
and
fun.
usually you're the one that is asking the questions.
Truly, yeah, this is really actually fun. I like it. So I got into radio 20 years for, well, what am I going to do when I grow up is what I said. I was recently widowed. I was 24 years old. I went through being widowed and didn't really have a career going yet, and had a young daughter. So I, as a joke, went to this broadcasting school and thought, I could do this. This is cool. This is fun. And moved to the Tri-Cities area to get started. And the thing that happened to me, being from Southern California, is I moved here, and I would go back whenever I had vacation time to Southern California, and the more I would go back, I couldn't wait to get back here. And I realized, no, this is where I want to be. I don't want to be in the big city anymore. So Tri-Cities really has grown on me. Love the area, and it's been wonderful here. So I can't imagine, yeah, because the idea was get in radio and go to this big market.
Yeah,
and be a big
that's
superstar,
kind of
right?
always the thing. You know, you always want to move from, okay, I'll
Yes.
go to this little market and then go to the next bigger one, next bigger one.
A lot of
so.
people in radio do that. They're transient. And so I've been fortunate. I've been fortunate to pretty much stay in the same area. I've only worked for 3 companies in the 20 years since I've been here. And actually, my very first radio station was one of our sister stations, Cats in Yakima, a rock station. So,
so
You rock.
that's my question. So
I've done-
oftentimes you don't work on a radio station with a music genre that is your favorite.
Right.
You do something else. How do you do that?
It's-
how do you do that?
that's funny because originally rock, that was perfect. I consider myself a rocker. And then I started doing country, and I did country for a good 15 years of my career.
Did you like country?
And country was not my music of choice, no.
Oh.
But the format, see the difference of the music and what I like about country, especially in our area, is country fans are so loyal to their country station.
Yeah.
They love their radio station and they love their country music. And then we get a lot of those artists actually come to this area. So I've been able to meet so many artists, Blake
Yeah.
Shelton, Dirk Bentley. I've never met Garth Brooks, but lots of country artists have been through the area, and so it actually ended up being quite surprising, a very fun format. I've done oldies, and now I'm kind of on a top 40 pop station. So
And it is hard to get used to. I mean, I'm on a top 40 station, and I'm not really. I listen to alternative rock and classic rock on my free time. So I think you can find the songs that you love, and then after you've heard so many things, you can kind of tune it out a little. It's like your boss comes in so many times, and you're like, yeah, I gotcha, whatever. But I think you can you can always find, if you're a music lover, you can always find music that you love.
How did you get started, Raleigh, in radio?
Funny weird story. I had just gotten back from teaching English in Japan for a year, and I needed a part-time job, and I saw part-time was hiring for a street team, and I was like, oh, I like radio, whatever, and so I just started doing that, and I was working at Starbucks and doing those 2 jobs, and one of the in Portland, this was one of their heritage jocks, much like Stacey. Her name's Stacey too, funny enough. She's been doing it for 20 years, and it's like, I love your voice. Like, have you thought about trying to expand this? So I started producing her afternoon show, and I started doing some overnights on my own, and then it just snowballed into me wanting to do this for a living. And
it would
I
have
can't do it
nothing to
right
do with
now.
your sparkling, fun personality. though.
No, I was very boring, and
Well,
That's cool. You
You
just-
got to have that, though. You
you
got to
felt-
have something interesting about yourself.
See,
don't
she
you
just
think?
fell into it. I always think it's
Yeah.
interesting when people fall. Like, I actually went to broadcasting school, but then I've met so many people that have just kind of fallen into the
Yeah.
job. And it seems that it attracts a certain type of person, right?
yeah, the awesome people.
Yeah, awesome people.
All right, ladies, divas, wine divas. Let's review again your wine divas party bus, and that's November 8th.
Yes.
It costs.
$70, and you contact Tri-Cities Limo, and I wouldn't wait to get one of those 12 seats. 737-8675. If you guys want more details, you can go to either one of our websites, mine being KEYW.com.
And mine is hot975online.com.
And what if I want to see some of your vlogs?
Yes, find us on those 2 websites. All the Wine
Okay.
Divas have their own little playlist.
If you
Our
click the on air,
YouTubes.
here's the easiest way to find us. Go to the on air, like at the top, look for on air, click that, look for Stacey Lee, click that, and then all my blogs are there. And,
Yeah,
you
same
can
with
even-
Raleigh.
You
Yeah.
can even in the search bar put Wine Diva, and you'll find all the Diva videos. So yeah.
Nice, ladies. I really enjoyed having you on. Maybe we can do this again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next time with wine.
What were we thinking?
All right, we're back in a moment.